Hey everyone, welcome back to Getaway Crochet. I'm Lisa, and it is Sunday evening, night. Technically it's after 7, so it is nighttime in my mind. I really wanted to record earlier than tonight, but circumstances. So tonight I thought we would have a chillin' chat while we get away and crochet some stuff. So I am working on my fall squares. I have about 11 100% completed. Here's my stack. So here's what they look like completed for those of you who have not seen them yet. I have 11 completed and I have 3 almost done. I'm kind of doing a few at a time, and I have decided, for those of you that don't know, so instead of putting white squares in between the colored ones, I am legitimately just going to put one right next to the next. I tested it the other day to see what it would look like, and I think it would look wonderful. So that's what we're doing with that now. I changed my mind on that because I was like, I don't really like how the white looks, but I liked what they looked like side by side. So there's that. And if you excuse me for one moment, I'm just gonna shut the blinds on this window really quick. Okay. The thought of people driving by and looking at me talking to nobody, I mean like what looks like nobody in front of me, kind of weirds me out. So Sunday night, it is October 1st, number 1. Number 2, it has been 90 degrees today. It is October 1st in North Dakota. That never ever happens. Why is it? And it's supposed to be in the high 80s for the next 2 days. So how many of you are having uncharacteristically warm days in October? If you live in North Dakota, obviously you probably are. Wonder what the rest of the states are like. Is it really hot down south still? I mean, does it ever really cool down though? I mean, I feel like Florida doesn't really get below 50. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I know they don't get as cold as we do, but yeah, let me know what you guys are experiencing for weather. I mean, the colors of the trees are changing wonderfully, so I've been enjoying that. I'm just gonna crochet a little bit while we chat here. So yes, you will notice that I'm in a tank top because it is really warm. I don't generally like to wear tank tops to do recording, but I didn't feel like putting on a warmer shirt because I'm doing laundry as well. So, and also the air conditioner is running. Again, it's it's like it's October 1st. Why are we doing this? But whatever. I'm hoping that this means that we will have a longer fall and a shorter winter. But who knows what this actually is going to mean. So I hope your guys' weekend has been good. Ours has been a little rocky. So my husband's been kind of doctoring off and on. I'm not going to be specific about it, but he did get some news on Friday that was not the best news, and now he has to see a few specialists, or start seeing specialists to figure out what's going on. So we were hit with that Friday afternoon, so it's been kind of a rough couple of days trying to absorb the information and stuff. So he gets to go deal with that tomorrow and work and figure life out. So that's stressful, but we're managing. This is why I started this channel, so I can get away from the stress of life. So we can, like, everybody has stresses of life. And my whole purpose was to be able to turn this on and get away from life for a while and just kind of chat and crochet and kind of be in a little zen area. So that's what we're doing tonight. So yeah, it's uncharacteristically warm. Sunday, October 1st. The trees kind of like, I feel like most of the trees, I don't know how it is in your guys' area, but in my area where we live, most of the trees have changed pretty much overnight, like kind of like not a subtle, like, they went from green to, like, yellow. There was no in between. And there's a whole bunch of, like, the leaves aren't, like, usually the leaves turn orange before they fall down. Well, I don't know where all these orange leaves have come from, but there are orange leaves on the floor, or on the ground, but they're not from the trees. I don't know where they're coming from, but apparently they're somewhere, and they're blowing into my yard. I don't have a tree in my yard that's alive, so so yeah, we have orange leaves on the ground, but none in the trees. I don't know what's going on with that, but you know, it's a weird fall this year. It's really warm. I mean, I thought, like, we went to the grocery store today, and I told one of the cashiers, I said, I thought it was fall. And she goes, right? And I said, why is it 90 degrees on October 1st? And she goes, yeah, no kidding. I mean, it's all just weird. So that's how it's going up here. How is it going where you guys live? Tell me a little bit about what your climate's like where you are. And if any of you live where there are alligators, tell me what the alligators are doing, because you know I love alligators. And I'm always interested to know what alligators are doing this time of year. And how I know that when it gets colder, they usually hibernate on the bottom of the water stuff, so they could become inactive and whatnot because they don't like the cold. So I know that they do that, but I don't know what else I don't know when that starts, that kind of thing. I know I'm weird. I like alligators, but I mean, it could be worse, right? So what is everybody working on tonight? Or this weekend, or now when you're watching this? Like I said, I'm just working on my fall squares for this granny square blanket. Whether fall actually, the trees say that fall's here, but the temperatures do not. And I want to get at least one blanket done before fall ends, because fall usually goes really quick, as does spring in North Dakota. So I have been doing my best to get a lot of these squares done. So I've gotten quite a few done this weekend. I did get a little bit more work on my aunt's blanket, which I can show you here. Let me move these out of the way. Alright. So, like I said, it's been really warm. So yesterday was pretty warm. It was not as hot as today. I mean, like, yesterday it was like 84, I think. And today it's been in the 90s. So, I did not work on a blanket today. I did not want to work on a blanket today. Just the thought of it has made me just feel sticky. And so I worked on a little bit yesterday, but not for too long because it's so warm. But here's what I got done so far. Here, let me find the top. Here we go. This is a corner-to-corner blanket. It's over halfway done. Let's see how many rows I got here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 55 rows done. I need to get to 63, so less than 10 before I can start closing it up. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So it didn't get done this weekend like I was hoping it to do, but it'll get done hopefully this week. Fingers crossed by the end of the weekend, next weekend. Unless for whatever reason I'm not able to work on it again, but I really do want to finish it because it's taking up space on my desk, and it was an order that I'm getting paid for, so yeah. I don't like to drag those projects out too long, because I wouldn't want to wait for mine. If I paid for something, I wouldn't want to wait for it forever, so I try not to drag those things out too long. It is within the family though, so it's not like it's my mom compensating me for it. So it's not like, I have to send it to, us, like, somewhere else and is a stranger that's getting it or something. But so it is taking a little bit longer than it normally would have, but I mean, yeah, my mom understands. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. And my other squares, I have not been doing too many of those other squares. I might work on a few tonight while we chat. We'll see how far I get with these ones. I have this one to finish up, and then, sorry, I'm looking to see where all my yarn is for this. And then I have 2 more squares that I gotta put 2 more rows on before I put the border row on. So, oh, and I want to show you this, guys. So I had bought in this, for like shawls and stuff. In my other videos, I had mentioned I was going to be working on shawl. I'm not done with my shawl yet. I'm very embarrassed. However, like I said, it's been warm. So shawls aren't even a thought to me right now. Like, obviously, I'm wearing a tank top. We don't need to think of a shawl right now. But anyway, I ordered a month or so ago when I was looking for a brooch for my shawl, which I will show you. It finally came. This is the brooch I bought for my shawl, which, for those of you that don't know what it looks like, I got things just laying everywhere. It's bad. It's like a hoarded house in here. It's a little wrinkly because it's been cramped up in this bag for a while, but this is the color that it is, and I thought that when I saw this online, I thought it would work perfectly with this. So tell me what you think. You guys like that? So that's going to be the brooch that holds the shawl together when it's done. It's about halfway done, I'd say, maybe a little under. So, but it works up really quick. It's the primrose stitch, so it's working up really quick. So once I get going on that, it probably won't take me very long. I could probably finish it in a day or 2. So I got that brooch, and I also ordered another one because of fall. I love fall, obviously. Oh, by the way, if you keep seeing me look over here, it's because my monitor is over here. My camera's here, my monitor's here, and I want to make sure that you guys can see what I'm trying to show you. So forgive my weird looking over here. So, isn't that beautiful? That literally looks like, I know it's like not how it generally changes in the fall. It's supposed to be green in the middle and then orange on the outside, but this is as close as I got to a color changing leaf. So I had to have that. I think I got it for like $7.99, I think, on Amazon. So yeah, brooches, those were the 2 that I got that I wanted to show you. And I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I have received in the meantime. I don't think so. I'm sure it'll come to me as we're discussing things this afternoon, or this evening. But, so yeah, we're just kind of winding down for the night, getting ready for the week of work tomorrow, and I'm doing laundry. We just got done eating dinner. I made spaghetti and meatballs. So I cleaned up the kitchen, and we went for a little stroll around the block, and then, and now we're just kind of chilling out. My husband's downstairs playing a game, and I am up here working on these squares that I want to get done before October's done. Ideally, I would like to get both blankets done before October's done, but realistically, I'm not sure that's gonna happen. Because, yeah. But as far as things that need to be done, the blanket needs to be done. I'm trying to think if there's anything else on my list. I do want to get to my bags. It's not a priority, though. The fall blankets are priority because it's fall and I want to finish them before fall ends. But I guess technically November is still considered fall. I think up until Thanksgiving, right? Am I wrong? I think that's how it works. The day after Thanksgiving is now, we're all into winter and thinking about Christmas and all those other things, right? I mean, half the population's thinking about Christmas in July, but the rest of us, yeah, I used to work at Hobby Lobby, probably about 8 years ago, and we would start putting out Christmas stuff at the beginning of June. And I was so burnt out on Christmas. Like, I'm not a huge holiday person. So I was so burnt out on Christmas after working there for, a year and a half. I can't. Just Christmas, I just can't anymore. After working there, it's funny, when I go back there all the time, obviously. I shop there, and I talk to all the employees that I worked with when I was there. And I'm like, oh, are you decorating for Christmas already? And they look at me like, drop dead. And I'm like, oh, do you hate Christmas now too? And they're like, yes. Ever since I started here, I have had a hatred for Christmas, because that's all I see for half the year is Christmas stuff. I mean, they start putting out Christmas stuff before they start putting out fall stuff, for goodness sakes, half the time. It's just, I just can't. Yeah. So, and then the radio starts playing Christmas music a little. Hi, Max. Hi. Hey, bub. Yeah. Where's your ball? You can go find your ball? Where's your ball? Bring me your ball. Trying to multitask. Okay. Ready? Catch. They just came in from outside, so I know that they're not going to want to go back out there, not to mention there will be barking and it will disturb my video. So I'm trying to, let me see, trying to keep him happy while he's in here, so as he doesn't start making noise and things. So I'll play with him a little bit here and there. So I apologize. Oh, also, it's really humid outside, and my hair, I want to apologize for what my hair looks like. I don't generally like to go on camera like this, but I really wanted to put out a video, and I know you guys will understand because it's really warm and you're just happy that there's a chill and chat video and we can just all sit and relax and crochet together. So I know that you won't think too much of my bad look here, but I'm just keeping it real, as I always do. Life's not perfect, neither is my hair, nor has it ever been. So, but other than that, today's been nice. I was still doing laundry, but I got a lot done so far. I did the dishes, I cooked dinner, so it's been a pretty productive day. I did a little bit of crochet before dinner. I started watching Lord of the Rings. How many Lord of the Rings fans do we have in the house? I honestly had never seen the movie before I met my husband. He introduced me to Lord of the Rings. He's a big nerd, and I love him. Never saw myself watching half the stuff I watch now and I'm into. The games I play now, never ever would I thought of myself as into that kind of stuff. But he has brought me over to the dark side, as it were. So I finished the last row of the square itself. I just got to put the border on it. Ooh. Oh, I already did that. I have a little bowl of my garbage underneath my desk is full, and I don't want to take it out right now. I'm too lazy. So I have a bowl with my scraps in sitting on my desk. So I can just empty that into the, where's my needle? There it is. So I can empty that into the garbage into the kitchen garbage when it's full. Because the kitchen garbage is empty because I took that out today and I forgot to bring my garbage out from underneath my desk, so that's just going to sit another day. It's overflowing with yarn scraps, and a friend of mine bought me some zippers at thrift stores because she knows I make zipper pouches, so she bought me like, I don't know how many zippers, so many zippers, and I opened them all up. I think on Friday I opened them up, and I don't know why I put them in the garbage underneath my desk, but I did, and it's overflowing and it's bothering me, but again, I'm too lazy to take it out right now. Maybe later I'll take it out tonight if it really starts to get to me. So just got to put the border on this. As you can see, so this is the color that I start with. It's Autumn Stripe. I love this yarn. I do the first 2 rounds are autumn stripe. Then I do a light green, a dark green, a light orange, dark orange, a brown, a red, and then 2 more. So I start with 2 rows of the autumn stripe and I end with 2 rows of the autumn stripe. And then I put 1 border row on it of the off-white. So I'm going to wait till I'm done with all my squares to start bordering them. So that can go over here for now, and we'll start on the next one. So that way we don't have to keep switching colors, and I can just work with 1 color for now. So I hope you guys have had a really nice, relaxing weekend, though. I hope you're all relaxing tonight before, if you go to work tomorrow, and you can, sorry, just checking something there. You can all kind of wind down for the night, and this is generally how I like to spend Sunday nights. I like to spend them crocheting, kind of decompressing. I mean, it's been a fun weekend, but not all Sunday nights are like that. Sunday nights are chaos sometimes. I mean, that's not ideal for me, but sometimes they are. We all can't control everything, right? So, but tonight's pretty good, so I thought we could get some crocheting done and take a break from life. Just kind of get away from stuff, the stress, things that are bothering us, things that are on our mind, the work week ahead of us. We can put that out of our minds for a little bit and just do some fun crocheting. So, yeah, that's what I'm just kind of relaxing doing, and it's what I like to do in my spare time. Every free moment that I get, I like to do some sort of hobby. Sorry, my nose itches really bad, I'm sorry. I don't like to itch my nose on camera, but it really itches, so I apologize. I need to get back into the Warhammer stuff, building my little miniatures. I've been busy with crocheting for a while, so I gotta kind of make time for that too. But I got deadlines, people, right? I got blankets to finish here. Oh, and by the way, speaking of blankets, I am absolutely obsessed with that fall granny square blanket I made. It is currently on my couch. But I'm trying to think when I used it. I took a nap last week sometime. I can't remember when. But I love to take naps. Naps are my thing. I used that blanket because it was chilly in the house that one day. It was chilly in the house that one day. I used the blanket, and I'm just obsessed with it. It was so comfortable. It made me want to make more, and I feel like everybody needs a granny square blanket. What do you guys think? Do you think that everybody should get a granny square blanket? I feel like they need one. Obviously, I can't make one for everybody in the world. I mean, that would be nice, but who has that kind of time, you know? But I cannot wait to make more blankets. I just love them once they're put together. I love making them, the squares, and putting them together. Yeah, putting them together is kind of the long part, but it's still fun. But I can't wait to see the end result and then how it looks. I keep telling my mom when she comes over, I just love this blanket. I'm so happy I made it for myself, and I can't wait to make another one. So, and she goes, are you going to keep the squares? Are you going to keep the fall square blankets that you're making for yourself now? And I said, I don't know. I mean, where am I going to store all these blankets? We don't have like a basement. We have a bi-level, so we have like a little crawl space under the stairs for storage. And let's just say that it's not the best place to be storing blankets, especially if you want to just take one out and use it. So I have to be finding spots for these blankets, especially if I'm going to have more than one, which that's the plan at the moment. I want to have, I'd like to have one for different seasons. I would like to have one for summer, one for spring, one for winter, and one for fall, ideally. I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to do for the winter blanket. However, while I'm on the thought of blankets, I thought we would do a blanket together. Let me know what you guys think of this. Is a cool idea. So obviously I'm obsessed with granny squares at the moment. I probably will be for a while, but I thought since I am still into the granny square things, I thought we could make a granny square blanket together and have it made throughout the year. I will give you more details towards the end of December, so we can pick out the yarn, you can purchase it, you can get I will give you a rundown of how this is going to work, what I want to do, but I thought that would be a fun thing to do as a group. If you guys like that idea, just let me know. But that's what I thought that I would do for 2024, is create a blanket for the year being a granny square blanket. So not like a temperature blanket, but something kind of that you would work on all year round. All year long, excuse me. So that's coming up. So let me know what you guys think about that. But I was making a square and I thought of it and I was like, I gotta write this down. So yeah, I have not decided which I'm so bad. I'm such a perfectionist. I have not decided which notebook I want to be for what yet. So one of my notebooks, I have one laying right here actually. Oh, by the way, I love my new planner that I got. This is 2324. I got it on Amazon. Yeah. It's Lang brand, and the artist is Susan Wingett. And it's just Gallery Florals Deluxe Planner. If you guys want to get yourself one, it's wonderful because you have both weeks, like so, and months, like so. And then in the back you get stickers and notes and stuff like that, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, that's not what I was going to show you. Oh, so my parents got me some graph paper because I know I'm wanting to sketch out my blankets, and I got the solid color squared one sketched out, finally, in the way I want it to be. So this is what it's going to look like. Obviously the oranges are a little bit different because I'm limited with colored pencil oranges, so bear with me on that, but you get the idea. Kind of reminds me of Skittles. Doesn't it remind you of Skittles? It kind of looks like Skittles. They just don't have grape in them. So anyway, working on a pile of... So I have decided that I have two of these notebooks, and not this one in particular, but the one that is similar to this one that is currently on the floor next to my couch is my ideas for videos, ideas in my head that pop up that I want to write down, because this says be inspired every day. And that's my inspiration notebook, I have decided. As far as my pattern notebook, I have no idea which one I'm going to use yet. So we're still contemplating that one. I just don't know if I want a really big one or a small one or a really small one. Start small, work our way up. I just don't know what I want yet. So, but I have figured one purpose for one notebook. So I got that done. Now I just gotta figure out what my pattern notebook is gonna be. And I will put that sketch, the graph paper sketch, in the pattern notebook once I figure out which notebook I'm going to use. So yeah, lots of things going around in my head. I think I mentioned this, I don't remember which day I did a video, to be honest, and I apologize. It's been one of those weeks. So I mentioned when I did my last video that I have all of these ideas in my head, and I feel so overwhelmed with all of my creativity ideas, and I want to do them all, and I want to start them all. And does anybody else feel the same way? Because I'm like really, like, my brain's exploding with all these ideas and things that I want to do, and I want to start them all right away. And does anybody else go through that? Because it's still happening. I mean, it's kind of settled a little bit once I figured that this blanket out, I don't know. But I'm just honestly trying to use up yarn to make room on my desk right now. So I'm trying to make that my priority, because this blanket needs to be a priority, my other fall blanket needs priority, the yarn that I'm using for these blankets needs to leave and be a priority to use up. So that's my priorities at the moment, plus my aunts blanket, which I only have, I think, one full skein left. So I'm probably gonna have to buy one or two more. It's been a while since I made a corner to corner, so I didn't remember how many skeins of yarn I actually used for the last one I made. So yeah. Other than that, I've gone through one for sure, maybe two. I can't remember. Two, I think. I think this is number 3. I've gone through 2 skeins of this autumn stripe already. I've gone through 1 skein of the red. And I'm almost done with the dark orange, this first skein of that I'm using up. So, and then after that will be light orange that'll be gone, and brown will probably be next. So it's going well. They're getting used up. I just, for some reason, it always seems like the yarn is never ending in my house because, well, for one, I keep buying it. But thankfully right now not thankfully, but right now I don't have any money, so it's easy not to buy yarn because I can't. So that's beneficial. Not having money is not beneficial, but it is when you have a tendency to buy yarn all the time. And this way it forces me not to buy yarn so I can use up what I got in my stash, which is what I want to do before I buy more yarn. But that generally doesn't happen. So yeah, I still got yarn all over my desk, but it's a little bit more organized. There's space on my desk now. It's not just a heap of stuff. I can actually use the keyboard and, I was going to say, the typewriter. Do you guys remember the days of typewriters? Oh my goodness. I remember as a kid using a typewriter. And my dad had 2 different ones. He had one that had an autocorrect button on it, which was the newfangled electric one. And then he had one of those old school ones that you had to, oh man, I hope he still has it because I kind of want it. It was really, really old school. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. I honestly don't even remember how it turned on and stuff, but I remember that you had to like push it back and forth. It didn't automatically return like the electric one. There was no autocorrect, so you really had to not make a mistake. You actually had to take the keys off, the whole thing out of the system to replace the ink or whatever on the key. It's been so long since I've used it though. Yeah. But anyway, I can actually we're not talking about typewriters, but that came up. I can actually use my keyboard. I have space to do stuff on my desk here. Yes, there's still yarn on my desk, but there will always be yarn on my desk. And oh, I got my new business cards. Let me show you this. Look at that. I'm covering up my phone number. I'm sorry. My phone number is basically for people that I give my cards to at local shows. So yeah, I don't necessarily want to share my phone number on the internet. So I have that. Those got done a couple months ago, and I just keep forgetting to take them out of the box and show them to you guys. But I just love the colors. It reminds me of a little vacation. It has my favorite colors on there, obviously. So that happened too. Other than that, I have a ton of ideas, things that I want to get done. So besides the blankets, other things I want to work on are more bags. What else? I was gonna have you guys I got dogs all over around the chairs, so I can't really move right now. But I was gonna show you this yarn I have. And I wanted to get an idea what I should do with it. I originally bought it to make a blanket, but I don't know if I want to make a blanket out of it, to be honest. I have 4 skeins of it. Hi, Max. Yeah, I know, you're a needy baby, aren't you? What is crawling around on my desk right now? Oh my goodness, what is that? I don't know, but oh. There's something that was just crawling on my desk. It wasn't a spider, otherwise I would have freaked out. I don't like spiders. Spiders absolutely terrify me. However, my husband has 2 tarantulas in his office. I have no idea how I managed to allow that, but I did. I'm deathly afraid of spiders, and he has 2 tarantulas. I think my frightened curiosity about the creatures kind of outweighs my intelligence sometimes. They are very interesting. I do like to learn about things that I'm afraid of. I do like to learn about tarantulas. I like to see other people handle them. I don't like to handle them. I think they freak me out, and I know that it's just, yeah, it's gonna be a matter of time before I literally, if I'm well, we're not even gonna go to holding them. Yeah, not good. Max, where's your ball? Anyway, let's get off the topic of tarantulas before I have nightmares tonight, which does happen if I watch too many videos, talk about them too much. I will have nightmares that I'm getting bitten by tarantulas. What? What do you need? You need to go outside? I guess we're gonna go outside. Bear with me one moment. Oh, okay. I guess he doesn't want to go. He wanted to run downstairs. So never mind. We will just continue with our square here. I am doing the 2nd row of this color. It's the last row. Right now it's kind of an orangish blend. It stripes into different ones, as you can see. So, what do you guys like to do on Sunday night? Let me know in the comments what you guys like to do. I like to know what people like to do to relax. This is what I like to do, obviously. That's why I started this channel. Because I wanted to share the same thing I like with other people in hopes that they can get away from life and things that are on their mind for a time period to do what they love to do. Actually, while I'm thinking about it now, I'm gonna go grab that yarn really quick so I can show you. Alright guys, so I have 4 of these skeins. This is Yarn Bee Sugar Wheel from Hobby Lobby. It is in the color Mango Puff, and it has a light gray, a coral color, a dark gray, and a turquoise blue, like a light blue-ish turquoise. It's kind of turquoisey. I bought this originally to do a corner-to-corner blanket because I was obsessed with them at one time, kind of like granny squares. But I kind of got bored from the corner-and-corner blankets after a while. They weren't selling as good as I hoped they would, so I stopped making all of them because I'm trying to sell the ones that I do have. So I have 4 skeins of this yarn, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. If you have any ideas on what I should do with this yarn, let me know in the comments. Because I want to use this yarn. I keep looking over at it and thinking, okay, what am I going to do with it? And I just can't get any ideas of what I'm going to do with this yarn. It's just not coming to me. So I'm having a massive block with this. So if you have any ideas of what would look good with that yarn, please let me know in the comments. Part of me wants to do like a sweater or a cardigan, something like that. But at the same time, I really, the idea of clothing and me crocheting clothing, I don't want to necessarily, I don't want to start down that road. But I don't know. Maybe I will. I don't know. What do you guys think? What should I make out of that? Because I've been stumped for weeks. I want to use it, and I don't know what I want to make out of it. And from what I can remember, this is still sold in Hobby Lobby stores. I bought this last year. They still do carry this color. So, again, it's called Mango Puff. If you guys want to go to Hobby Lobby and get it, that's what it's called. Yeah, but that color's a real stumper because I don't know what I want to do with it. So I could use any ideas that you guys have for me. I would be very thankful for. Other than that, we're just chilling around here. It's currently 8 o'clock at night. Part of me wants to make some decaf coffee and have a nice warm cup of coffee while I'm sitting here. And the other part is like, you should have tea. And then the other part of me is like, you should be drinking water. So, I don't know what I want to do with that. But I'm sure once I get done with this video, I will figure that out. The idea of hot chocolate does not even come into my brain until winter hits, though. And I'm not the biggest hot chocolate fan. Although my husband and I usually buy these the Land O'Lakes brand of hot chocolate packets. We get the different flavored ones like Irish cream and the white cocoa and the peppermint, hot chocolate ones, and just the fun stuff that's different than regular hot chocolate. My husband's a big hot chocolate fan. Me, I will drink it on occasion, but it's not my favorite thing to drink. What about you guys? When you're sitting around and relaxing with crochet, what do you guys like to drink? You like to drink tea? You like to drink some wine? You like to drink some coffee? What's your thing? I try to limit the alcohol. Well, for one, I have to limit the alcohol I drink because my medication does not work well with alcohol. The depression medication I'm on for anxiety and depression and PTSD does not mix well with medication. So, I really don't try not to drink with that. Also, depending on how much of that when I do drink, if I drink more than one glass, depending on what I drink, sometimes I shouldn't crochet because I usually end up making mistakes. So, I mean, if you're one that can drink alcoholic beverages and crochet without making mistakes, perfect. I can't. At least not after the first beverage. So, but let me know what you guys like to drink when you're relaxing and crocheting on a nice Sunday night. Yeah. Let's see how far I am with this square here. I'm almost done with the square. I'll probably finish this square. Maybe I'll... Where's my other one? Oh, it's right here. Thinking maybe I'll work on the last one while I'm chatting with you before I get off. But we'll see. I don't want my video to go necessarily too long because my husband probably would like access to the rest of the house without interrupting me, so I don't want to be on too long, but I want to have enough time for you guys to kind of relax and crochet with me. So right now we're at about 44 minutes, so might go for another 15, might not. We'll see what happens. So now I'm getting into, I got through some green, as you can see. I went through the orange, then I went into the green, and now I'm starting the red part of the stripe, which is probably what I will end it at, because this is the ending corner. What's your guys' favorite thing to crochet? Right now, my favorite thing to crochet is granny squares, obviously. Before granny squares, what was my favorite? To be honest, oh, excuse me, blankets have never been my favorite thing to crochet until recently. Maybe because I never made one for myself. Maybe that's what it took. I don't know. But what's your guys' favorite thing to crochet? Right now, mine is blankets. It varies from different things. I was really into making doilies for a while, which I will probably make. Yeah. I don't know if I will, how often I will do doilies this year, but I did make some coasters, some doily coasters. Forgive the ends, they're not weaved in on this one. This one they are. But I was going to do a set of 4 doily coasters. These work wonderful for coasters. They really do. I have them kind of all over my house. Well, because I have doilies all over my house because I make them. But these coasters work wonderful. They're washing machine safe, and they are dryer safe. However, I recommend laying them flat to dry because sometimes they like to curl. And like my mom puts hers in the dryer, which is totally fine. The ends just like to curl a little bit. So in order to keep them nice and flat and not, having certain things curl up and bunch up, like from being in the dryer and flopping around, I always just lay these flat to dry along with my doilies. So, but I have 2 more to make, and this is, oh my god, nobody wants to get that close to my face. So this is the yarn I'm using. It is Hobby Lobby Artiste Cotton Threads, I believe that's what it's called. I don't have one with a label, I apologize. And they're currently, because there's no room up here to store them, they're currently stored in my husband's office closet right now. But we don't want to. I'm trying to use up the stuff I have in the closet because there's no room for it. If I buy more, I have no room to put that, and it's currently taking up his office space. So I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to use up what I have to make room in case I need to buy more because I actually use that to sew the linings into my bags. So I don't use regular thread. I use this cotton artiste thread. It's thicker, it's heavier, itchy nose, and I just feel better using it to sew a lining into a bag. So that's what I use. To me, regular thread is so flimsy. I mean, maybe it's just because I've made doilies for so many years, and like that's the only stuff I feel like has some structural integrity, and people can be really rough on their bags. I mean, I would like to make stuff that's built to last for a long time. And so that's why I try to use the most durable stuff I can find. So that's why. But I prefer to use that. So I do happen to have, lately the only reason I've been buying is to do linings for stuff like that. So, but I used to buy it just for doilies before I started doing bags. I don't know, how many people like to sew? Before I started making bags, I couldn't stand sewing. I honestly still hate using the sewing machine. I don't like it. I would rather sew by hand. If I have to sew, I will sew by hand. If I'm able to do so. If I'm not able to do so, well, then I will ask my dad to sew something because I don't like to sew with a sewing machine. Not to mention, I don't have a sewing machine. He does. So if I need to use a sewing machine, I have to go over to his house anyway, and he knows how to use his sewing machine. I do not. So all power to him to quickly whip up whatever I need. So there's that. But I mean, some people love to sew, some people love to crochet, some people love to do all fiber art thingies. I used to make those tie blankets years ago. That used to be my thing. I used to just make tons of tie blankets. I did make one actually last year. No, this year. I take that back. It was this year. This, I think it was in February or March. I made my husband a giant tie blanket, and he uses it in his office downstairs in the wintertime. I probably will never make another one. Now let me explain why. It's not that I don't enjoy making them, I do. So another square finished. It's not that I don't enjoy making them. I do enjoy making them. However, I am not as young as I used to be when I used to make these, and I could sit on the floor. I was in my teenage years when I used to make these, and I am definitely not in my teenage years. I'm not even in my 20s anymore. Yes, you're welcome for telling you kind of how old I am. Okay, I'm in my 30s, okay? We're just gonna go there. Okay, so in my 30s, I don't have a big enough floor space to work on a blanket that size up here. However, my body cannot handle being bent over, sitting on the floor, doing a tie blanket. Not to mention, I had to bring it over to my parents' house to lay it out on their basement floor to do it, and they have concrete on their floor. They don't have carpeting. And my body hurt so bad the next day. My back hurt so bad, my legs hurt so bad, my butt hurt so bad. It was just really bad. So I don't foresee myself making another one, at least not that size. It would have to be significantly smaller so I could sit on I even sat on a pillow half the time, and it didn't help. So needless to say, I'm not as young as I used to be when I was making them. And my body hurts way more on the ground than it used to. Not as flexible as I used to be. I'm not as thin as I used to be. So needless to say, I don't enjoy it as much. And I don't want to do a craft if I don't enjoy it. I'm not going to do it. I like to do what I enjoy. Obviously, most people do. Otherwise, they don't do it. So, alright, I'm beginning the last 2 rows of my square here. So anyway, I used to be really into that. Also, I was into jewelry making. I used to make all of my own earrings and necklaces before I got back into crochet really hardcore. Before I started my own business, I'll say. I used to crochet anyway, but not as often as I would make jewelry. So in high school, it was tie blankets. Middle school, it was crochet. High school, tie blankets. 20s, early 20s, it was jewelry. And then mid-20s, I came back to crochet, and I've done nothing since. So, I've always crocheted, but not consistently like I have since my mid-20s. Like, I have crocheted every day of my life for the past, let's see, how old am I? For the past 9 years? 8 years? Every day? Before that, it was off and on. In between doing other crafts, but it's been consistently every day, multiple times a day, whatever, hours a week. Ouch. My tailbone still hurts. Yeah, I've been consistently crocheting every day of my life, and I can't, for like 8 years now, and I can't not see myself crocheting every day. Like, when I'm not able to crochet, if I'm sick, I seriously have a problem. I feel just lost if I cannot crochet something at some point during the day. I mean, even if, like, I spoke about crochet blocks, so I was having crochet block a couple weeks ago, part of last week. Before I got back into these squares, I didn't really want to work on the squares. I didn't know what I wanted to work on. I kind of explained that in my last video. So what did I do? I made some of these. It seemed like something I would want to work on. So you just do, you can switch it off. I mean, if you get crochet block and you need to crochet because you need to, like me, I have to crochet. But you don't know what you want to work on, just do something random. Like, do just a little, like, if you make amigurumis, just do a random amigurumi. Or if you make those for a living, then don't do that. Do something else. Like, I made coasters. Right now I'm in the middle of making a blanket, but I didn't feel like working on a blanket, so I made coasters. I didn't really feel like doing anything else. I was still able to crochet, which helped, and then I kind of got into crocheting. Like, I got rid of my crocheting block, so I was able to go back to working on what I need to. But for a while, I mean, it's sometimes it just, you need to switch it up. And like I told my mom was kind of losing interest in crochet recently. Um, she was bored with she knows one stitch. She was only doing that stitch. She got bored and she didn't really have the motivation to finish what she was working on. And I said, well, why don't you work on something for yourself? She goes, I don't need anything for myself. My mom, bless her heart, she is the most generous person in the world. However, she does not think of herself ever. She needs to occasionally, and she doesn't. So one of the things that I told her she should do is make something for herself. And, well, since she can't possibly do that, because she just can't fathom that idea, I told her, well, learn a different stitch. Well, I don't know any different stitches. And I said, I can teach you one. She goes, I don't think you can. And I said, yes, I can. She goes, I don't think I can learn a stitch, Lisa. I'm too old. And I'm like, I don't think so, Mom. I think you're moldable. So I showed her a stitch, and she was slowly getting it, and then that kind of, I taught her a new stitch, and it was the double crochet granny shell stitch. Worked back and forth like those scarves I showed you. So I taught her that. She kind of got back into crochet, started to love it. She's currently, we're finishing a scarf for her. I don't know if she's gonna wear it or what, or she's gonna shove it in a closet probably, I don't know. But I told her, I told her, number one, work on something for you, if you can. I'm like, she can't, so I said, okay, well, what would you want to work? I said, well, let's work on a small project then. You're learning a new stitch. Let's work on a small project. So I said, what's a small project? She goes, I don't know. And I said, how about a dishcloth? And she goes, no, I don't like working with a cotton yarn. I don't think I can do the cotton yarn with the new stitch. I said, okay, well, what about a scarf? I could probably do a scarf. I said, okay. So she goes, can I buy some of your yarn? And I said, why don't we just go out and make it a deal? Like, you go outside, you go out, you buy a new crochet hook, you buy a new yarn for yourself, you make it a whole thing, because you want to get yourself excited about crochet again. So you go out and make it a big thing, buy yourself new yarn, you buy yourself a new crochet hook, and you start a new project. And that got her all excited, that got her back into the swing of things, and now she loves this new stitch, and now she wants to make a blanket out of it. So that is her next project, is going to be a granny shell stitch blanket, pretty much like that scrap GAN I am working on. Hers is, I don't know what size it's going to be. I have to help her with the foundation row because she doesn't really remember how to start one, which is fine. It's complicated. I get it. If you're just learning the stitch and everything, so I'm going to help her with that when she's done with her scarf. She wants to be done with the scarf really, really fast, and I said, Mom, you need to be a little bit more comfortable with the stitch before you start a blanket, because if you make a mistake, 17 rows later, you're really gonna regret it. I mean, obviously she's still making mistakes. It's a new stitch. I mean, I still make mistakes, and I've been crocheting for years. But, I mean, if you're gonna just less consistently making mistakes. So, I said, you're not quite to where you need to be, I think, to work on a blanket yet. I would finish the scarf. And she's like, but I want to be done with the scarf. I'm like, I get it. I get it. But finish the scarf, get a little bit more comfortable with the stitch, and then we'll switch to the blanket. So that's what she's doing. So probably by next weekend we'll be ready to start the blanket for her. I will show her how to do that. How do you guys deal with crochet block? What do you guys do? Do you get inspiration from Pinterest? I try to get inspiration from Pinterest, Ravelry. Sometimes, most of the time that does work. Sometimes it doesn't. And when it doesn't, I had to just get creative and make something simple that I know I could use, or I could give away to somebody that was practical and that I actually wanted to work on. So, and it just happened to be some doilies. So, but yeah, how do you guys handle crochet block if you get it? Everybody's a little bit different, so some people literally, like, they stop crocheting for months because of it. Like, they can't overcome it, which I understand. I've been there too. I did not take my allergy pill in enough time today. I let it go all day long until late this afternoon, and then I finally took it. So my nose is itching. My eyes are watering a little bit. I don't want to sneeze, but yeah. So we are at 1 hour. So I'm going to finish this row here. Just got to go around the corner here. Whoop. And then I am going to call it a night for the video. So if my husband needs to come upstairs and do stuff, he certainly can do so. It's about 8:20, so still got time to wind down before we have to go to bed for the night. It kind of varies on what time I go to bed. I try to go to bed semi-early on a Sunday, but I had a rough time sleeping last night, and I slept, once I did finally fall asleep later this morning, I didn't fall asleep till like 9 o'clock, and then I slept until like 1:45, so I slept later than normal, so I might stay up. My body might just be awake later than normal tonight. I hope not, but I mean, I hope my sleeping meds work. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do. So, but with luck, I'll get plenty of rest. I try to get at least 7 hours of sleep if I can. My body actually, like, when I'm off during the weekend, I will actually sleep 10 to 12 hours. That's just how much I sleep. Like, I'm dead asleep for that long. I don't generally get up before the 9 to 10 hour mark. I'm not really awake, and my body's like, nope, you're just too tired to get up, so that's that. Alright, I'm doing the last shell here. Alright, guys, well, oh, okay. Just my husky chewing on his dog bone. Okay. I just oh, I'm not done with this square yet, so I can't trim it. Oh my goodness, that was bad. I have to finish one more row on that, but I reached the hour mark, so I am going to say goodnight to you guys. I will see you in the next video. I don't know what that video is going to be, but I hope to make it like Wednesday-ish, hopefully. We'll see how my week goes, but I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Have a good work week if you are working out of the home. If you're working in the home, have a good work from home week. Just have a good week in general, and get away and crochet. Alright guys, we'll talk to you in the next video. Bye bye.